Today we're going to go exploring Lady Ellen Point, just off of Ledge Point, which is outside of Port McNeill. So let's go check it out. So you have to drive down the logging roads coming out of Port McNeill. And it's well marked. There's a sign that leads you to Ledge Point. And there's a trailhead here that we're going to follow down to the beach. And it looks well maintained, easy walking, so it should be suitable for all ages and comfort levels. We live in the coastal rainforest on northern Vancouver Island, so everything's really lush and green, especially the salal. And this trail seems to go through a pretty thick patch of salal, and if you could see, it's like a hedge on either side of me here. If you were to trudge through this in the middle of the forest, you could see why the Finns of Malcolm Island would have called this the nuisance berry bush. Came up to an old picnic table here, and you're looking over at the very western tip of Malcolm Island. That is Pulteney Point or Poikanimi, and over in the distance on Poikanimi you could see the Malcolm Island lighthouse. And as I'm panning over here, that facility that you see coming off of Vancouver Island, that is Orca Sand and Gravel, and on the other side of the highway there's a big gravel pit, and you'll see some freighters docked here every once in a while. If I'm lucky, when I go visit Pulteney Point Lighthouse, I'll show you when there's some freighters in. Hopefully they're loading when I'm there. But this is looking over at Poikanimi Pulteney Point Lighthouse from Vancouver Island, close to Lady Ellen Point on Ledge Point. So we're looking at Orca Sand and Gravel, and that point just in the distance there, in Finnish they called that Sotamien-karki, which means soldier's point. And it's written that between Sotamien-karki and Poikanimi over there on Malcolm Island, during either the First War or the Second World War, I'm not sure which war, but they had mines in the water, and they mined the waters in here, I guess, to stop submarines from entering these waters. So that's why they called that previous spot over there that I just showed you Sotamien-karki, or Soldier's Point. So I'm following Malcolm Island along the beaches here, and we're going to head over towards Lady Ellen Point. Just zooming in at the Pulteney Point Lighthouse on Malcolm Island. This was a big tree at one point in time. Now it's a nurse log on the beach. Kind of cool. I should also say here, as we're looking towards Poikanimi or Pulteney Point Lighthouse and Orca Sand and Gravel off to your left, you're looking straight ahead, way off in the distance there. That's the northernmost point of Vancouver Island, and you're looking off into the open waters of the Pacific Ocean. I'm across a nice collection of beach whelks here. It's kind of neat and nice colors to them. As I'm approaching Lady Ellen Point here, the beach is starting to get a little sandier, nicer to walk on. And here we have a large spider crab, and they tend to cling to the bull kelp. We got a large dead starfish on the beach. It's pretty rotten though, so I'm not going to take it home and dry it out. And looks like there's a shack here on the beach that someone made. If I remember right, I haven't been here in a few years, but if I remember right, there was a guy and he made like a steam room or a sauna on the beach. And this must be it. Either that or it's like a cabin. Oh, there we go. I remember his name now. His name's Norm. And this is Norm's cabin at Lady Ellen Point. Let's take a look here. It's kind of neat. Yeah, it's a little cabin actually. He's got a bed here. Oh, this is so cool. And a bench. He's got a little stove here. And a place to sleep. This is Norm's cabin at Lady Ellen Point. Really cool. And I'll just walk over here to the tip of Lady Ellen Point, and way off in the distance there on Malcom Island is the town of Sointala. You're looking over towards Rough Bay, which is Kotilati in fish, which means home bay, and the town of Sointala over there. I'll take another clip and zoom in on it. Walk around the bend here and show you around that point is Ledge Point, and on the other side of that point is the town of Port McNeill. Just zooming in a little bit so you could get a better view of Sointala over there on Malcom Island. Just came across this huge, looks like it could be a wolf track here. I'm putting my fist down here for size comparison. Just following the forest trail back to my truck from Lady Ellen Point. Looks like it goes off this way. Once again here you could see signs of the first logging. And the spaces between these stumps here shows you just what the forest once looked like. There was a big gap between the trees at one point in time. And the second growth forests here that you see all around me now are more dense than the original forest. But one by one, some of the smaller trees will die as the canopy gets taller and taller, and it'll thin out, and what's left will become these giant trees in the forest. Well, that was a cool little stroll down to Lady Ellen Point. Unfortunately, I'm not going to make it on this next ferry, so I might as well go see if I can make it down to Ledge Point, and we'll go check it out. All right, so here I am at Ledge Point, and I'm just going to walk down to the beach and show you the town site of Port McNeill from Ledge Point, which is just across the water from the town site of Port McNeill. And there we are. We can see Port McNeill across the water. There's Port McNeill. I just noticed there's some cool thing that washed up on the beach here. I'm not sure what it is. Let's take a look and see what this is. It looks like it's made of fiberglass, and I'm not really sure what it is. Could be part of some sort of wharf, a float of some sort maybe. It's hollow on the inside. Kind of cool. Lots of neat rock formations here on the beach at Ledge Point. Sometimes in this hard pan sandstone stuff, you could find fossils. Ooh, it's pretty slippery. I'm not going to go up there. Kind of a neat formation. This is really neat. Walking on some sort of, I would say like a mucky layer, and it's got some sort of seagrass growing in it. Let's go down to the beach here and see what kind of marine life lives at Ledge Point. Looks like just a whole lot of barnacles and little snail shells and kelp growing on the hard pan here. In the tide pool. Oh, there was a bullhead that just swam by. I don't know if you guys seen that. Which is a type of little fish. And we have all these limpets in here. Looks like there's a bunch of bullheads in this tide pool. And looking down in the mud flat here, you can see these huge bird footprints, and that's from a crane or a heron. I just came across what looks like it's either a seal or an otter maybe. Look at the teeth on that thing. I think it's an otter, because instead of having flippers, it has little hands. And it looks like the guy got stuck under this rock here and couldn't get himself free. Poor thing. Well, there's a shot of Sointel in the background and me standing here at the tip of Ledge Point on Vancouver Island. And I think I've shot enough footage for one day, so this is enough for another video for you all. I hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. All right, ciao.